My mother-in-law intentionally unplugs our home Wi-Fi router during my corporate client video calls. There is a unique kind of frustration when someone in your own home actively tries to sabotage your professional career. For the past year, I have worked as a senior software consultant for an international firm, a position that requires me to lead high-stakes, live video presentations with corporate clients weekly. Because my job is remote, a stable internet connection isn't just a convenience. It's my livelihood. But over the last month, my connection completely dropped during 3 major client meetings, almost costing our company a massive contract. When I finally set up a hidden security camera in our home office hallway, I caught my mother-in-law, Martha, doing the unthinkable. She was quietly walking to the main utility closet and unplugging our home Wi-Fi router the exact moment she heard me introduction myself to clients. Martha thought I would suffer in silence to keep household peace, but she completely underestimated how a professional woman handles clear sabotage. My name is Elena. I am 35 years old, and I work as a senior software integration consultant. My daily routine revolves around cloud architecture, system diagnostics, and hosting live deployment sessions with corporate clients. Because my company's headquarters is located on the opposite coast, I work entirely from a dedicated home office setup. I pride myself on my punctuality, my technical setup, and my absolute professionalism. My husband, Julian, and I have been married for 4 years. 6 months ago, Julian's mother, Martha, requested to move into our guest suite temporarily, while her own condominium was undergoing major structural renovations. Julian and I discussed it, and since we had the space, I agreed to accommodate her. I wanted to be a supportive daughter-in-law. However, Martha holds highly traditional views regarding careers and household dynamics. From the very first week she arrived, she made passive-aggressive remarks about my remote work structure. I just don't understand how sitting in front of a computer screen all day counts as a real job, Martha would say during breakfast, watching me check my morning emails. In my day, a wife was focused on managing the home, preparing fresh lunch, and being available for the family. Julian works a real corporate job at his engineering firm. You just stay in your room. I always kept my composure, politely explaining that my role handles major corporate accounts and funds our household savings. Martha, my clients rely on me to guide their entire system migrations. It requires immense focus, especially during my live afternoon calls. Martha would simply sniff, roll her eyes, and walk away. As the weeks went on, her interruptions became more direct. She would intentionally knock on my office door during calls to ask where the extra paper towels were, or vacuum the hallway directly outside my door while I was speaking. I managed to handle those minor annoyances by utilizing a high-quality noise-canceling microphone, but Martha realized the noise wasn't rattling me, so she decided to escalate her tactics to a level that directly threatened my employment status. The real issues began 3 weeks ago. I was hosting a critical system review with our firm's largest European client. There were 20 executives on the call, and I was sharing my screen to demonstrate a live software patch. Suddenly, my screen went completely blank. The video feeds froze, and my communication software displayed a flashing red icon. Connection lost. I panicked. I checked my laptop's network settings, restarted my system, and ran down to the utility closet to check the main fiber optic router. The power cord was sitting completely loose on the floor. I, assuming it had simply slipped out due to a loose wall outlet, quickly plugged it back in, waited 5 minutes for the system to reboot, and rejoined the meeting with profound apologies. It was deeply embarrassing, but the clients were understanding. But then, it happened again the following week. Exact same scenario. I was leading a training seminar for a new client group, and 30 minutes into the call, the entire network dropped. When I ran to the utility closet, the router cord was unplugged again. This time, I asked Martha about it, as she was sitting in the living room nearby reading a magazine. Martha, did you happen to trip over the router wire or bump into the utility door? The internet keeps disconnecting. Martha didn't look up from her page. Oh, I have no idea about those modern machines, Elena. Perhaps your service provider is just unreliable. You really shouldn't depend so much on a little plastic box for your livelihood anyway. Her casual, dismissive tone immediately raised a red flag in my mind. As a systems analyst, I don't believe in coincidences. I believe in patterns. I checked the network logs on my router administration panel. The disconnections didn't show a signal drop from the service provider. They showed an abrupt hard power termination. Someone was manually pulling the plug. To verify my theory, I decided to set up a secure, battery-powered compact camera disguised as a smart home sensor on the hallway shelf directly facing the utility closet door. I synced the live feed to my personal mobile phone, which I placed on a stand right next to my desktop monitor. Yesterday afternoon was the ultimate test. I had a final high-stakes contract presentation with our prospective principal client. If this meeting went smoothly, our team would secure a multi-million-dollar integration project. At 2 p.m., I started the video conference. Good afternoon, team, I said clearly, greeting the executives. Today, we will be reviewing the final security protocols for your cloud migration. The moment those words left my mouth, I kept my eyes locked on the small mobile screen next to my monitor. Sure enough, the live camera feed showed the guest suite door quietly opening. Martha walked out into the hallway. She looked left, then right, ensuring the coast was clear. She marched straight to the utility closet, opened the door, and with an incredibly deliberate, satisfied expression, She reached down and pulled the router's power cord completely out of the wall outlet. The moment she pulled it, my desktop screen instantly displayed the network disconnected error message. Instead of panicking, I took a deep breath. I picked up my phone, used my cellular data hotspot to instantly reconnect my laptop to the internet within 60 seconds, and smoothly resumed my presentation. Apologies for the brief flicker, team. Switching to my backup network protocol now. Let's proceed. I delivered a flawless 1-hour presentation, secured the client's verbal confirmation for the contract, and concluded the call. The moment the meeting ended, I downloaded the high-definition security footage from the hallway camera directly onto my phone, printed a physical log of the router's power disruption timestamps, and walked down to the kitchen where Martha was preparing afternoon tea. I walked into the kitchen, placed my phone on the counter, and pressed play on the video file. Martha turned around, irritated by the sound, but her face completely froze the moment she saw the clear, crisp footage of herself opening the utility closet and pulling the power cord out of the wall. The color completely drained from her cheeks. Elena, what is the meaning of this? Are you spying on me in my own family's home? Martha stammered, instantly trying to turn the accusation around on me. This is my home, Martha, paid for by the very career you are actively trying to destroy, I said, my voice completely calm, steady, and professional. You intentionally disconnected my corporate video calls 3 separate times. You risked my company's contracts, my professional reputation, and my financial stability because of your personal resentment. You are completely exaggerating, Martha shouted, dropping her teacup onto the counter with a loud clatter. I was simply trying to save electricity. That machine runs 24 hours a day and it's a waste. Besides, a proper wife should be focused on her household, not locked away talking to strangers on a screen all day. I did you a favor. You didn't do me a favor, Martha. You committed a deliberate act of sabotage, I replied, closing the video application on my phone. Your renovations end in 2 weeks, but your stay in this house ends tonight. I have already contacted Julian, and he is on his way home right now. Julian will never take your side over his own mother, Martha hissed, her hands shaking with indignation. He knows how much I have sacrificed for him. You are being incredibly disrespectful. We will let the facts speak for themselves, I said, walking back to my office and closing the door, leaving her alone in the kitchen with her exposed actions. At 6 p.m., Julian walked through the front door. I asked him to join me in the dining room, where I sat him down and played the security footage without adding any emotional commentary. I simply showed him the video evidence and the matching network interruption logs. Julian stared at the screen for a long time, his jaw completely open, his hand covering his forehead. He looked deeply embarrassed and completely disappointed. She actually did this? Julian whispered, looking up at me. During your client presentations? Yes, Julian. It happened 3 times, I explained gently but firmly. I love you and I respect your family, but I cannot allow my hard work and our financial stability to be compromised by someone who doesn't respect my boundaries or my profession. Martha needs to find alternative accommodations immediately. Julian stood up, took a deep breath, and nodded. You are completely right, Elena. This is unacceptable. Julian walked into the living room where Martha was waiting, expecting him to defend her. Instead, Julian sat across from her and spoke with absolute clarity. Mom, what you did to Elena's work is completely wrong, Julian said, his voice firm. Elena's career supports this family, and your actions were completely uncalled for. I have already booked you a suite at the extended stay hotel downtown for the remainder of your condo renovations. I will help you load your bags into my car right now. Martha looked at her son in absolute disbelief. Julian, you are throwing your own mother out of your house for an internet machine? She has completely turned you against me. No, Mom. Your own actions did this, Julian replied, walking upstairs to retrieve her luggage from the guest suite. Martha realized she had completely lost her leverage. Her attempt to control our household dynamic had backfired entirely because she chose to handle her traditional views through deception rather than communication. It has been 2 months since Martha moved out of our home. The extended stay hotel stay concluded. Her condominium renovations were completed, and she is now back in her own space. Our relationship with her has completely transformed. Julian established a strict boundary. Martha is welcome to visit us for family dinners on the weekends, but she is no longer permitted in our home during regular corporate business hours. She has realized that her traditional opinions do not give her the right to interfere with modern professional boundaries. She remains polite during dinners now, entirely avoiding the topic of careers or technology. As for my professional life, the outcome was fantastic. The international corporate integration project we secured during that final call was officially signed last week. Because of my smooth handling of the account, our corporate board awarded me a formal commendation and a significant performance bonus. Yesterday afternoon, I sat in my home office leading a massive global deployment call with our new partners. The connection was perfectly clear, the audio was flawless, and the network log showed 100% stability. Julian walked in after my call ended, placing a fresh cup of coffee on my desk with a supportive smile. I looked out the window at our quiet, peaceful driveway, realizing that protecting your career sometimes requires setting absolute, immovable boundaries with the people around you. True respect isn't given automatically through a family title. It is earned through honesty, understanding, and supporting each other's paths to success. We are moving forward with a secure home, a thriving career, and a network connection that will never be interrupted again.